What's up, y'all? You know it is. It's your boy, Big Tank Hank, coming at you with a new live stream. We're in the Aqua Shop and we're open for business. Thank y'all for coming through and sitting down with us for this little bit of time. And for those people that are catching us on the rewind, thank you very much for being interested enough to go back and see what it is we got going on this Saturday. Well, today I have a wonderful couple on here that's in the fish game, specializing in plecos and other types of catfish. Um, had a little time to talk with them in the background, and they seem very wonderful people. The name of their business is Armored Cat Aquatics, and we're gonna bring them up. What's happening, y'all? How you
What's up,
doing?
man?
Hey,
Hey guys.
hi
Nice
guys.
to meet y'all. So we're Armored Cat Aquatics. I'm Jaime.
I'm Corey.
And then, like Big Tank Hank said, we specialize in plecos and a lot of other freshwater fish. Our big thing is to bring in stuff that we've kind of never seen before and stuff that we think that y'all would like. Like, I know we see things, we're like, oh, I've never seen that before. Nah, well, let's try it.
We kind of collect fish just like you guys do, like to bring in stuff we've never seen before and we don't have any personal experience with ourselves. But I've been collecting fish all my life and or keeping fish, I should say. I didn't really get too seriously involved in it until about two and a half years ago. I discovered what the nitrogen cycle was through these Facebook groups, and the hobby is so exciting and how much you can continue to learn as you progress. And part of the business was I just kind of wanted to do it just to learn. There's so much more that you can learn when you have access to a lot of these things that you didn't have access to before. Just being a just regular customer, you don't see a lot of these things very easily. So we created this business to just kind of help us with a little bit of monotony, depression, and just so we can learn. Yeah,
Definitely. I know, like, she started getting into fish before I did. I think, like, as a kid, we've all had, like, a little bowl with little feeder goldfish, and then I really didn't have a tank till right before college. I think she got me a beta tank, and it was like a 20-gallon sectioned off with like 2 betas in it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I took it to school with me. And it was cool because I got a few friends in on it too. So next thing you know, like my whole dorm, like 3 or 4 of us had fish tanks. And then after that, we kind of just grew from there. Got into like a natural planted tank look. And hey, Patrick. But yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm thinking. Sorry.
Hey, no, that's cool. Hey, so where are you guys originally from?
We're both from El Paso, Texas. So actually, a little bit about us is that we started dating about 12 years ago when we were 15 in El Paso, Texas, and met in high school. So we both moved to Dallas together for college. Yeah, nothing yet. We both moved here for college, and we just, we've been living together and trying to just get our lives going. But I know you're talking about marriage, but I was trying to graduate first.
Yeah, we're both going to school.
So close.
So she's gonna be done soon, and I'll be done eventually.
Let's be honest.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, he's having to support himself, so I'm trying to finish so I can get him through it. It's just the reality of things. Yeah.
Hey, no. That's beautiful. I mean, for you guys to be together like that, I mean, to start where you did, you're talking about 15 years old. I mean, that they don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I've been married 20, 22, going on 23 years. I mean, and that's unheard of. I mean, ups, downs, but I wouldn't trade a day of it. My wife is my soulmate, my best friend. I don't want to hang with anybody else. But no, that's real. I alienated my chat. Let's say hello to everybody. I see them coming in the door, and then we're gonna come back to y'all.
Oh, that's fine.
No, go for it. Let's do it.
Casual Aquatics, what's going on? Rocco's Fish Room, hello. Jonathan Farley, thank you for coming
There
in.
you go.
Hey, that's my
Farley.
friend.
Hey, Go hit that sub button, Jonathan. Patrick
I'll
Hardy.
make sure you do.
Mary Page Flynn. Hello, ma'am. Big Easy is in the house. What's going on? All right. Yeah, we have a very, very supportive and loving Fish Fam group over here. I mean, and I thought nothing better. I mean, you were spoke of highly by a good friend of mine. So I was like, hey, it makes nothing but, you know, all the sense of the world for me to bring you guys up here. I mean, you have a business, fish people like fish, and there's nothing like another avenue, you know, so for them to be able to find quality fish, especially what you're saying,
Right.
you know,
Right.
if there's things that you guys don't really see, it's pretty much the same way for all of us, because LFSs, for the most part, all cater towards what the next is doing, what's popular, rather than rolling the dice on something that people may actually, you know, like or be interested in.
Yeah.
Right.
So no, that's very cool. What
yeah. Sometimes we end up keeping that fish for quite a while.
But hey, man.
But it's fun and it's really cool to look at. Even if they stay here, you know, they might get a name, but eventually someone will come by that likes them.
Hey, that is okay though. That is okay. That is okay. I have a affinity for wild betters, and I use a comparison. You know how people talk about convict cichlids and being overrun by them? Now, I have a tank right here with, I know, 50 convict fry easily in it. That I like to look at them. I mean, I'm not the cichlid guy like that. A pair that I got that I thought were too young to spawn ended up spawning on me. They left, but the fry's still here. Now, I'm going to figure out something to do with those. But likewise, my betters can have a lot of babies also, but these wild betters, you know, can live in the colony. If I have to get some more totes and have totes with water and set it up for them, they can all stay. I just separate my males and females. I wouldn't care, because I like that, you know, that fish. I like to watch those. You know, that's just what I do. So I can understand that. And for me, it's a niche type of thing. That's another thing that makes me so interested. Trevor, Skull Aquatics, what's going on? Makes me so interested in what you guys, you know, are doing in your premises, because I have niche, like I say, I have niche fish that even if I want to sell them, there's like only particular people that's gonna actually want them, and you have a tendency to hold stuff like that longer. But on the business side, that actually can make those fish a little more sought after, which in turn is a little bit more of a profit margin.
We always joke when, like, when something stays, we're like, it's okay. You just sit here, you get bigger, and you get worth more.
So we had like a mishap a while back. It's on my end. So we were supposed to get these wild severums, and they're not like the prettiest of things, and everyone goes for like
the greens. They're just, you know, they're green.
Everyone goes for like the red shoulders or the golds and stuff, and these just wild green severums, man. And I think they've been here, I'll say like close to like 2 months now.
We were only supposed to bring in just a few, just to try them out, because we knew they didn't go that great. And he ended up bringing in like 11 of them. So we always joke, and like the biggest joke is just to pawn off these 11 green severums to somebody. So every time our friends come over, we're like, you know what, you need 11 green severums. I think you do. Like it would look so great in your tank. You just need them.
But now that they've been here like a while, they're starting to like mature, and they're actually like looked at them the other day, like really looked at them, like, man, you guys are just getting really pretty now.
Like, maybe you'll know eventually. You're getting pretty. But they came in, you know, they're pale. They don't have no color. You say green severum, and people look at me and you're like, are you sure? Like,
it's a little like brown thing.
Yeah.
And I swear it's green.
Yeah, they're starting to get their color now, but that's fun. They're fun.
We had like a spotted congo that stayed for like, I'd say about like 2 weeks. We just shipped him out and got to his new home yesterday, actually. Like, man, I started just staring at him every day. I'm like, I'm gonna call you Hubert. I was like, you're Hubert now.
To be fair, we didn't even advertise him. We just kind of we've been so busy with school. He's just been sitting there, and that was our own fault. But yeah.
Hey, maybe y'all need to name everything. You name it, then it'll go.
Right? Maybe.
Or might keep it. guilty of that too. You know, we bring them in and I'm like, okay, I want that. Never mind, it's mine now.
Sorry.
So, like, it's a fine line, you know. You have to try not to keep every fish you bring in.
I would say you know business. You have to turn them loose.
Oh,
Oh,
I know. We know.
Hey, but that's the part of, you know, it's showing the hobbyist side of you, as opposed to there's some people that we know on YouTube who it's just the business. You know, there's no love. They, you know, hey,
Right.
If they don't know 5 people that own that particular fish, it's not coming, you know, to their house. It's like, oh no,
Right.
I'm not doing that. But no, that's all right. You know, that's all right. A hobbyist is gonna survive it. You know, well, you know, if it's just strictly business, then it becomes a problem. But that's cool though. That's cool. So, what are your aspirations as far as online and brick and mortar?
So, as I told you before, we flip-flop a lot. So at first it was no brick and mortar. We wanted to do online. Our inspirations were aquatic arts. Actually, George from Nationwide Aquatics was a big inspiration. He got me further into the hobby. He's been helping us as a business, helping us get started, and we owe him quite a bit. But he was definitely like the goal, like that. He still is today, you know, like just what I would like to accomplish. But as time has gone on a little bit, we've decided I think we're leaning a little bit towards a brick and mortar store. So we find ourselves casually looking at stores now. We're like, maybe we should buy one, you know. But I really love aquariums. That's where I go. I go to the Dallas World Aquarium when I'm bored or not feeling down. That's my place. So I would really like to make an aquarium one day. I don't know if that's possible, but I sure want to try.
But that's cool. And so the people will know exactly what you're talking about with aquarium. You mean come in, pay admission, and admire your fish.
Absolutely. And then I'd love to have more of a at least an equal percent of freshwater to saltwater, because I dislike that most aquariums are saltwater.
Okay. That's cool. And saltwater, James, what's going on? Griffin, Fish Room, what's happening? Thank y'all for coming in. The thing, saltwater, as popular as it is, seems to also still be kind of a niche thing.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, it's popular, seemingly, but it's still
like really specific.
So many more freshwater people. Florida Fish Rescue, what's going on? And would you say you actually like freshwater more? Because sometimes you can really like something, but because it is so obscure, you'll have it sitting up here on a shelf and you don't really even dabble in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't like saltwater. It's kind of real time. Like, there's a few saltwater fish that I'm personally a fan of, and would eventually inevitably as a fish keeper I think would get a saltwater tank. It's kind of just one of those where it's there's a wall between the two, and just it takes a bit to hop over and get into. And honestly, saltwater itself can be really expensive to keep and maintain, and you need RO water for sure, the most pristine things if you want this immaculate rare stuff.
We should just say more of a lazy fish keeper.
Yeah.
That's honestly, I do my water changes and stuff, but I love things that can just kind of maintain themselves. I love planted tanks.
Yeah.
That's honestly the biggest problem with me in saltwater is there's no plants. And there's corals and stuff, but I really love just the green, lush look of planted tanks. And as far as saltwater, we're not super experienced in it. In fact, we've never owned a saltwater tank. I have done my research on it, but I've kind of put it off on the back burner because I figured when I'm done learning everything that I can about freshwater, which will probably never happen, but when I feel like I've learned enough, then I'm gonna go onto saltwater. I don't want to learn too much at once because that's the fun part of this hobby is just continuing to learn. So I'm trying to master freshwater before I jump onto the saltwater side.
Right, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm a saltwater admirer. There's a lot of saltwater fish that I think are just off the hook, but everything that's gonna take for me to keep them, I'm not ready. Yeah, I'm not ready to do. I tried once years and years ago, and talking about being lazy fish keeper. Yeah, that's kind of me.
Yeah.
Like all the tanks are planted, and they all kind of take care of themselves for the most part.
Yeah, we tried high tech, and we can do it, but we had to trim our plants weekly, and we're like, I'll just stick to low tech. Yeah, we keep the high tech stuff like CO2 and the highlighting, but as far as the trimming plants, it's too much work. Lazy fish keeper, low tech's where it's at. Yeah.
I love like Dutch aquariums and all those high tech tanks, but man, it's a lot of work.
And yeah, you tell yourself, because just having a fish and looking at them, I mean, that takes away from it. Hey,
right.
Fish keepers, I'm just speaking for myself. It takes away from it for me. It's like the love and the
it becomes work.
Yeah.
I like dogs quite a bit. We have a little puppy. He's 11 years old. He's a house dog. But if it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't have a house dog because it's like, I'm like, oh no, that's the extra that I don't want to deal with. And I'm old school. You can't really do it anymore. But I was the dog house or building out in the back with the chain. It was accepted. Whereas nowadays it's not so much accepted. Oh my God, you have the poor dog outside. Well, that's where they always been. What you mean? But
that's
that's today. Jeffrey Bolster, welcome in. So what? From the fish that you have now, what other fish do you want to add that you don't have that you may be looking for?
I think like the biggest thing that we've gotten asked a lot, and then one that we really haven't dabbled in is like cichlids. That's like something that we're still kind of learning on our own to begin with too, but we'd really like to expand on bringing in like specifically like African cichlids, because like we've done a lot of South American stuff, so those are easy to bring in and kind of like hang out and like admire and stuff. But a lot of the African cichlids, that's where you get, personally, I feel like more specific. That you have the different lakes, and then it's just kind of like a whole nother world on our end. And I think that's where I'd like to grow in.
It's mostly just interest. I'll be honest. I don't like African cichlids. I have no interest in owning an African tank. But as far as the cichlids, it's really hard with what resources we have to actually get some of the cooler South American cichlids. So South American. So like we get a lot of people asking if we have like red Texas or Midas and stuff like that, and we don't. And I would love to have them. As it is, like guys, if you breed them, I would like to buy them. But yeah, we just don't have access to a lot of those, really unique, really pretty, even hybrid, cichlids that are out there that are sought after.
Okay. Hey, I have a bunch of convicts over here. If you guys want,
if you want dollar per fish.
Yeah, if you want to practice, I mean, what I'm saying?
No, that's like the one cichlid I'm always like, yeah, no thanks. They're everywhere.
They give that pre-warning. No, don't get convicts. I don't even know how convicts. See, convicts have this magical power or something. I don't know what it is. For them to still be in the hobby, they still suck people in, and you still end up in the same. You still end up in the same situation. It's like you can't never explain why. We know how it happens. Cause all they want to do is get in your water and its own, but you always still end up in the same situation, and I don't.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have convicts. Like they're real popular, but man, they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yep. Everywhere.
I always see people trying to get rid of them.
I think I may
You're
need
like, people can have a hard time getting rid of free convicts.
Hey, I'm thinking again. No, that's a trick. You know, I don't want to have somebody, you know, outside of my house, you know, waiting for me to come out, you know, so they can get me. Because I'll say I let them get up to maybe a quarter size, bag them all up, and just like in our apartment complex, just go door to door and give everybody that one fish. Hey,
You pass them out for Halloween?
There you go.
I'm gonna give them just one though. If they talk to the neighbor and the neighbor's like, "Well, I don't want mine. Do you want it?" I'm not gonna warn them. You know, don't take it. Don't take it. You just get that one. Don't take that second one, man.
Right.
Give them a sticker. Here you go. I'm Big Tank Hank on YouTube. Sub to my channel, and if you check me out, you'll learn about this particular fish. Yeah, this fish that you have.
Yeah.
But just wait until you learn about it. Don't get another one from nobody else. Ooh, but that's cool. Hey, Big Easy is a lover of Plecos, and he's in the chat. Let him know what kind of Plecos you have.
Oof. In stock or personal? Like now we're getting lists from like this.
Well, I mean both.
This stock.
both, because I mean I'm pretty sure you know he's gonna like to hear it.
I'll start with what I actually have right behind me. I have a very large wild type Briscoes. I think he's a cold spot. To be honest, I have no idea what he is. Blue Phantom, had a green. Fortunately, he didn't make it from transition. Royal, the dull-eyed.
Yeah. Dull-eyed Royal.
Hold on. Oh, and three beacons. They're pretty small right now. One's a dragon fin. If you don't know what that is, it has the full orange top fin. I think that's it for behind me.
In the shop right now, I think we have like the L201, which is the Orinoco polka dot. Goldies, some Royal King Tigers. That'll be the L333.
One leopard frog that needs a home. He's the only one left.
I'm eyeballing him though. Like.
Three beacons. I think.
A couple of pair of Plecos left.
One ugly butterfly. I call him. His name is Ugly. Sorry, he's ugly. He's a L52.
L52. That's so like the butterfly Pleco. There's a few different types. This one just happens to be the ugly one.
Yeah, he's like his friends are gone. He's still here for a while. He's grown quite a bit, but his name is Ugly. We have longfin albino bristlenose, super red bristlenose. In my personal collection, I have a longfin green dragon, a longfin lemon pear.
See, and then our albino breeding group.
397.
I think that covers it.
I think that's it for now.
That's what's Plecos wise. I have a few whiptails. They're like the sister, brother to the Pleco, I think.
His personal favorite. That's actually what our logo is. That's the Linero?
Linero.
Yeah, the Linero whiptail. Sorry, the Linero and the filamentosis look extremely similar. But yeah, we have the Royal, the Standard Twig, what was that? Actually, it's not the Standard, because the Standard is the Coos. We have the
Gracilius. The Furlywella Gracilius is what they call them. And I think it's just like your standard twig cat, and their armor plating is a little different. And then the Royal Loricaria, which is a little different than the actual Royal twig cat. These guys are massive, like bottom dweller. They're super cool. I think that covers all like the basic Plecos and like whiptails, catfish type thing that are in stock right now.
We can get more. Just ask us.
Oh yeah.
Just ask us.
You can get a lot more and have had a lot more. It's really neat.
I trip out on these L372s, L3. How
Man.
do you
There's a lot.
We're learning a lot of them ourselves, but yeah, it's always fun when someone just throws out a number, or like people listen to us talk and we're just talking numbers and letters to each other, and people
Like,
outside are probably like, what's going on? What is this?
What is this?
But, but we're having to learn all of them, and it's fun. It's fun learning them for sure.
Right. Geek
That's what
Boy,
you do.
Select Pet, welcome in. Yeah, cause let me see, what did he say? Need house.
And you have
Oh, I trip. I mean, when people come to me, you'll hear anything. When people come
I
to
dig
me,
it. I love it.
Were you asking for a cave? I'm not sure what that meant. Like,
Too many Plecos?
yeah.
House as in tank?
hey, break it down for them, Big Easy, so they know what you're looking for. Yeah, I told y'all that I'm just a guy that have fish, and people come and they just shooting the numbers out at me, and I'm.
It's a
Is
lot.
it pretty?
Yeah,
Right?
right. So is that the one with the white stripe?
There's a few of those.
Yeah, I saw those.
Like, you're a wild beta guy, and wild beta names, man, they didn't take up like half a page.
I can't say them. I
Man.
can't.
And the bad thing about them, I guess they may be kind of like Plecos too, in a sense of you have groups that are almost the same fish, but they have all these different names, and you're like,
and there's
wow.
some that they still like are possibly considered the same fish. They're just
A lot of hip and sisters all kind of blend into each other.
Yeah.
So.
we like I said, our friend George, we're always sending him, if it's something we really don't know, we just send it to him and we're like, what is this? And even he like sometimes is like, I think
maybe
it's
this or this or this.
maybe. And he knows, as far as I know, he knows everything. So if what he says goes,
239,
That's Blue Panique?
I think that's a blue panique.
But the L239.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know.
We get those in occasionally, if it is the Blue Panique. We know our numbers, but I mean, after a while, they all start to sound the same.
Hang on real quick.
Hey, Alexa, L27365. I'm gonna have to try that because I don't know. Alexa might know. I don't know.
We have one in our fish room. It's ran off of it, so we'll tell you. We'll ask.
Hey, mine also, but she's in the bedroom, so I don't. I'm glad she can't hear me right now.
That was really neat. I was kind of impressed by it. Man, Alexa on the fish room, best thing in the world.
I fought him on it. I was like, that's unnecessary. We don't need that. I'll just go in and click a button. But no, it's nice.
Yes, no. I have Alexa, plus I have the dial timer.
Okay.
Like my 220 longs over there, I have the dial timer on them because all the extra nutrients that's in those, I have less light time on those two, so they're by themselves on the timer. Whereas the ones over here, Alexa turns, turn those on, and they're on separate by themselves until it's time for the other ones to come on.
I think our plant tank kind of justified how long everything stays on.
Algae blooms.
Yeah.
So what? Deborah, DD, welcome coming in. Muppet, what's going on? See anybody sneaking the back door on us? Pleco whisper, hey, is that your second page? Big Easy.
He's like, let me switch real quick.
We don't claim to be Pleco experts, but we absolutely do love them. We still learn about them all the time. Wait, I stopped reading like that.
A lot of like the common Pleco, like bristlenose, definitely. Just go.
Breed like crazy.
I have one calico bristlenose female, and I've had her so long I don't even know which tank she's in. That's bad, right?
Yeah.
She's in there. She's in here somewhere.
You've heard
And every
stories
now and
where
then,
Yeah.
like
now
someone
and
break
then
down a
she
tank,
shows up.
set it up a few months later.
There's still Pleco living in the gravel or water.
Yes. Do you know what a mad Tom catfish is?
A Mad Tom catfish?
I don't think
I don't actually.
It's I'm gonna use a big school word. It's endemic to like Texas and Louisiana or area. It's a little bitty. He may get 3 inches.
Yeah.
Little goldish colored, brown, light brown, goldish colored fish tropic. What's going on?
I'll have to Google that one.
And I had one. I caught it. I was in high school and I was netting fish. I had some darters and some pumpkin seeds and whatnot. And I had this fish disappeared for I want to say a year. I mean, cleaning a tank. And that was back in the day where you cleaned everything in your tank.
Right.
Ergo, our discussion about the nitrogen cycle.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? My mama taught me to clean everything in the tank.
Right.
So the fact that you're breaking this tank all the way down, where was this catfish at?
Well, it was John actually. It was our friend
He's still
John.
on
He's still
here.
in the chat. Yeah, he had broke down a tank and moved and realized that there was a little banjo catfish that stayed in the tank the whole time that he didn't know. He forgot it was in there. He'd have to tell you about that one.
I was like, we get that all the time. They're like, oh, I checked my sump or I checked my canister or whatever. There's the Pleco in there.
Yeah.
Hey, but y'all have an excuse. Sump, canister. I just had a 10-gallon,
Yeah.
with just one hang on the back, so he couldn't have got into the uptake hole. I don't think I had a gone fishing sign in there, for him to get in the bottom of.
Yeah.
This fish was just gone for a year.
Yeah.
Showed back up one day. Hey, here I am. What? Where did you come from? I thought it had jumped out because you'll have fish jump out your tank and it's like, I don't know, they jump out and the fish angels catch them or something and just take them on off. Take them on off to fish, they disappear. They're no longer in there. They disappear.
It's really crazy how much people pay for, catfish that they never see. And I'm guilty of it. I like expensive Plecos too, but like you see a little tail every once in a while, or they disappear for years. I mean, it happens.
I've seen some uber planted tanks, like 75-gallon, and in the front of the tank you have maybe 7 inches all the way across where fish can swim, and the rest of it is plants. I'm like, hey, how many fish you got in there? Oh man, I have about 20 fish in there. I see 3,
Yeah.
Right. That's why it's like a personal tanks too, like just heavily planted. Like, let's see, there's 1, 2. It's like, where's everyone else?
Make sure everyone's still alive every once in a while.
And you're mad at the ones that's not food trained. Like my least killifish over here. All I have to do is just show up in the room. Anytime, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like right now, they're right here. They just come. Hey, I can count y'all if I need to. 1, 2. Hey, I'm missing somebody, No. These wild betters, you have to just sit there and wait.
Yeah.
Somebody's going, oh, okay. I can leave the room now. You're still alive. Cause
he just this morning I just asked him, I was like, is your beta still alive? Because he's just sitting up top like this, pokes him, swims away. He's like, yeah, he's fine. Okay. That's just
yeah, I would tell you sometimes those splendors, they'll do that to you. If you get one that's, and it's natural or normal, not natural, normal for some to be like extremely lazy. Then you had the ones who seem like they get up in the morning, they drink coffee before you show up.
Yeah,
it's true.
So the longer fin ones for sure.
Yeah.
Like they say, Plecos jump out of the tank. I've only had one, and it was a wild, not Plecos, but bettas. It was a wild betta. It was a embellished, copper embellished. I got him from LFS. You know, it was like, oh my goodness. It was my first wild. You know, I'm like, oh my goodness, I've scored. You know, I'm on the road now. I left about that much, you know, water, left it down in the top of the tank. I had a little top. I had my glass top on it, and it only had a little gap like this. Mind you, that much far from the top was the water, and the gap was only like this. Man, I come home from work, and he's on the floor, crispy. Oh,
we know that.
Yeah.
We know that, unfortunately. If there's even a little hole, they'll find it. They're good at that.
I had it was a king beta, you know, like the bigger ones.
the big ones, yeah.
And then the lid, it was like the hang on back was covering everything. It was a little like gap in the tank for, you know, for your heater or your bubbler or whatever it may be. Just that little gap, and then I'm like one day come in, I'm like, where's my beta? And sure enough.
We didn't even have him for more than a day.
Yeah.
He just, there's nothing wrong with that water. He just decided to just, woo-hoo.
Yeah, because people say that, you know, maybe if your water quality is bad and they're going to try to get out. I'm like, no, I think that's just what they like to do.
Tank's been there forever. The
It's just fine.
So what do you guys want to see possibly done different in the business side of the hobby? Like overall, some things that maybe you've noticed. It could be sanctioning on fish that you can get. I mean, anything.
Yes.
That's a full loaded question.
I mean, I do my water changes. I'm not that lazy. I do, you know, squeeze out the sponge every once in a while. But as far as like scrubbing everything down, I don't do any of that. But I mean, you'd have to just go with basic just fish education, I suppose. I mean, it's the problem everywhere. Petco, PetSmart, even your LFSs. Like, you gotta hire people that know what they're doing, and if you don't, you need to put a sign up. You know, be more accurate. Don't showcase your fish with clown puke gravel and fake plants. I mean, yes, there's in theory there's really nothing that terribly wrong with it. You could get away with it, but just don't. People get these ideas that that's okay or that's normal. You know, you set up your first tank, your first instinct is to go with the crappy pink gravel and plants because that's what you see at the fish stores. And I see it at LFSs, I see it at, you know, PetSmart. There's really no difference. You know, yeah, their showcases are different. Like, obviously PetSmart and Petco, a lot of them don't have showcase tanks. I think I've only seen one that had a really beautiful planted tank out in front where people can get an idea what they could do. But usually you only see that at your local fish stores.
Yeah.
Definitely like the education thing on it. Like there's a lot of you overhear things during like PetSmart visits and stuff, and you're just like, I wouldn't say that, but you know, you don't want to be like that's wrong.
We've done it. It's hard. Yeah, I don't try not to be super mean about it, but there's given wrong information away. I'd be like, but here's our card. like, just call us later. We will help you out.
And it's harder. It's harder when you're in. Hold on, I gotta touch on this one first. Big Easy, you say Pleco, clean your tank. Big Easy, a Pleco is like a vacuum cleaner that you forgot to hook the hose up on the back of.
I mean, like those clean your tank. That's really, they probably do more damage than good. They poop a lot. They will uproot everything. They will kick up dust. That's a good thing about them, is they kick up the poop into the filter. But you're not entirely wrong. We do have a bristlenose that we kind of pass around all of our tanks because he will clean the algae off
like
off the glass, and then there you go, lazy fish keeper. Instead of scrubbing all our tanks, we pass a bristle nose around. But you can
That's why I
tell
have snails.
right. But you can tell which tanks we have the bristle nose in because they look clean. Whereas the other ones you can't see through them sometimes. So they do work, but you gotta be choosy. Don't go grab a big common pleco and expect it to clean your tank. It ain't gonna happen.
No.
Yeah.
That's a lot of, especially with like plecos and catfish. The misconception is that they eat algae. Like that's a big thing that we've kind of tried to help educate people on. Like pleco diets aren't just algae. You have to like really keep in mind what's your veggie eaters, your biofilm, and like
your wood eaters, your meat eaters. Yeah. It's a lot.
I have sacrificed baby bristle noses. That the one that I'm telling you about that's hiding in here, she's grown. I mean, she's a good 3 inches at this point. Pretty little rascal when she shows up. But I started out, she was part of a group of 5, and they were little bitty.
Yeah.
I was used to the common plecos. That's what I was used to. You just put them in there. Just put them in there. Forget that you have them. And they're good, right?
It's like
Nobody told me, hey, you might want to try to spot feed these plecos, or you might want to, make some things a little more available. Man, they were looking, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna breed these guys. You watching them. Oh man, they looking good. The next thing you know, it's like, man, I only see 2. I only see 1.
Yeah.
You know what happened? The snails are like, you don't ask, we're not gonna tell you. Another good thing about snails, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, they say if you don't ask, we won't tell. Carry on. Yeah, I sacrificed some, and I never bought any more. After her, I was like, you just chill, you good, But since then, I've started using. Well, that's been a little while now, but I mean, I use, I buy frozen, I have pellets, I use flake. I mean, I use a variation, of food. So with my frozen, I just make sure I have enough dispersed. I have a mixture, carnivore mixture that's like adult brine shrimp, bloodworms, like all mixed together.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, broadcast it in there. Feeding everybody, everybody in my tanks eat the same thing for the most part.
Yeah.
So when she comes out, she gets to eat good. That's one time when I moved here. I haven't seen her since I moved here. When I packed the tanks up, I saw her, but I haven't seen her since I set them back up. Because she would come out, like, only time I would see her was when I would get my syringe and start squirting, into the water. She'd come out, and poof, gone again. Oh no, I might get back in the plecos, at some point. If I get hold to maybe like some of those red long fin, I might. I don't know. If I have to think hard about it, I need to wait right until I know for sure. Yeah, there you go.
It's true. Yeah.
I
So
got some albino long fins if you want. I'll send you some.
Ooh, yeah, I better know for sure. See, the guy that I used to be, I'm accepting everything. I'm going to the LFS, and if it look good, I'm buying it. Yeah, and that shot me in the foot so much, So but now I'm extremely weary now.
Yeah.
For me to just have technically two types of fish in here now, like that was unheard of a year ago. I'm trying everything. Set up a tote, 4 totes running, 11 tanks running. I'm trying everything. Yeah, let me put that in. Go to my LFS and look in the feeder tank to see what's in there that slipped through. That's not a feeder, but they have to sell it to you at feeder price. Oh man, I was collecting up everything. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I'm good. I'm good. But thank you very much for offering. Yeah, I'm good.
Definitely.
Let me know if you change your mind.
Hey, okay. I'm gonna keep that in my pocket. I'm gonna keep that in my pocket.
We'll find one of the L numbers for you.
Have me Googling in the middle of the night.
Hey, if you feed betas and stuff, you're feeding a lot of meaty foods. We can get you a pleco that eats a lot of the leftover meaty foods.
But tell you what I'm gonna do with my
fit.
snails.
That'd be all right.
Hey, I need to set up an online puffer food shop just because I can hook up some puffer
Right.
owners. I have so many snails. It's crazy. They don't bother me though, but yeah, I have ram's horns at the kazoo. So when you both get your degree and you get married, what are you planning on staying where you are? What is your grand picture? Not just with your fish room, you know what I'm saying? What is the grand picture? Have y'all thought that deep yet?
Oh, we think about it every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're stuck between the let's move or let's kind of stay in Texas, and then it's we're in Texas, and then it's we'll just stay here for a bit. It's all over the place.
It's hard because before this hobby we didn't really have a lot of friends here, a lot of connections. And now we do. So it's kind of hard because we're like, okay, we'll be leaving behind our customers, we'll be leaving behind our friends that we've just made. But that's the thing too. If we did an online business, we could move anywhere. It doesn't matter, obviously. I mean, within the U.S. But yeah, we could send out fish anywhere, so it's no big deal. But we lose, people that are local, and we have a joke that because majority of our sales go to Pflugerville, Austin area. So we always joke that we're gonna move to Pflugerville and create a fish store over there because that seems to be our biggest yeah.
Hey,
weekly, I think, to Pflugerville.
I guess Pflugerville has nothing. I'm pretty sure they have stores there, but okay.
There's a fish hotspot in Pflugerville. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you about till you leave Texas, you're gonna end up coming back. So don't even do it. Now though, if you leave Texas, because Pflugerville is in Texas, you're probably losing.
You're probably right.
Yeah, we're Texas. Hey, Texas, no. You sold us out. No, you can't have my business no more. I'm done.
Texas people, man.
Where did they move to? New York City. Oh no. Not gonna do it. Not sending my tax dollars to New York City. Not gonna do it. Fish Chopper said he's gonna move to the Ozarks.
Texas has a lot of great qualities. If I moved to it, it's just because of the heat. I can't take the heat here. It's bad, and it's hard, to keep But I have to admit, it's a lot easier to keep the fish room cool than it is to keep it warm. During the winter, when we had that bad ice storm, and everyone lost power for a few days. It was hard. We were running a generator to run a heater in the fish room, and our heater burnt up. So it was hard.
It was a struggle.
Cooling it so much easier. Just a little fan and it does the job. Have a little air conditioner, it does the job.
And that's Texas most of the year too. It's moderately okay.
Yeah.
PB Aquatics, welcome in. Well, hey, everybody on there listening, the Arctic blast, just throw it away. Just take it out of there. We're not gonna see another one of those for 100 years.
Right.
Yeah.
We're in shock now. We're gonna buy chains for the tires. We're doing all this.
We're ready now.
and now you just have this stuff.
We didn't even have a generator when we first moved here, and it's like 7 years ago we had another snowstorm, and we had no power for a week. We were running lights and our phone chargers from the truck outside. We had a converter, so yeah, that wasn't great. So after that, we had generators. Yeah, we had 2 of them, just because we didn't want to do that anymore.
Dinner's been sitting.
No.
That's what happened in February.
Right?
No, it wasn't. It was not great at all.
No. We came from the desert, so we didn't expect that, you know. And I mean, we just went from West Texas to East Texas. I still didn't expect a snowstorm like that, and I definitely expected that area to be able to handle it better than it did.
Oh, that power grid situation is a whole nother discussion.
That's something else.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. I mean, I'm dumbfounded and confused on that one. I mean, okay, you're providing power.
Right.
And we got lucky, like our power issues, like it was just the line went down up front versus like it actually being out. So like we were the only house out in the neighborhood, but once they came in the next day, like we're good.
Okay. Yeah, we were blessed over here too. It was like somebody, like we knew somebody at the power company because they would schedule our power out. Like we get a few hours in the morning, a few hours in the evening, and then it would just be out overnight. Okay, you guys go to sleep. You know, when you wake up, we're gonna turn it back on for you. You get ready and then go back to sleep. But then there's some people that were like around the corner and down the street who lost no power. You know, I'm like, how you lose no power? But then there's the people who lost power for 3 days, but they lost water. Pipes didn't break, but they lost water. They lost everything. And I'm like, well, okay, we were better off than them. We only went maybe 2 days with the intermittent. But again, like I said, we'd have it on enough to get prepared for it to go back off.
Yeah.
So that was just a whole crazy situation.
It really was.
Oh, I made a video. It was like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. My daughter's getting ready to go to work, and I'm out there, and the snow was like blowing. You know, we're trying to figure out how to get in the car, how to, get the windshield. I had this little hole. I'm driving. Good, she worked just down the street. I'm driving, looking through this little hole, get to the light and have to open the door and look down the road.
Ace Ventura, stick your head out while you're driving.
Couldn't roll the window down.
It's stuck.
Because I would have. I'm out hanging out the door until I make the turn onto the road and straighten up, and then close the door and use my little porthole going down the road. Oh man, it was special. It was special.
Everyone up north was just laughing at us.
How insensitive, but yeah, they were tickled. Yeah, they were tickled, most definitely. Man, so let me see what's another good question. What's another good question I can have for you guys? How many tanks are you running?
What, close to 40 now?
About 40, yeah. This is a little under 40. We want to expand because we're actually using a workshop that's in our barn, and we cut it in half and just started with that. So I would like to expand into the whole room soon. But yeah, right now it's 40. And in our personal tanks, we have 3 running right now.
Okay.
And that's more than that.
I was just gonna say, for you to be running 40 and only have 3 personal tanks, and then you say you're about to add 2 more to it.
We had 10 personal tanks at one point, but I decided that if I was gonna do the fish room, I needed to downsize. So I
cut all the beta tanks.
Yeah, I cut it down to 156 and his beta tank and a 23. And now I have my 90 that's behind me. He still has his 8-gallon and his 23-gallon. And then we had a stand built for a double 12-gallon. I'll have to show you some pictures of that. It's really neat. So we're going to try to set that up in our bedroom. And I'm going to do my first Dutch aquarium on the top. And I think he's going to do like a riverscape for his hill streams.
Okay. Have y'all met Gabe Anderson on Texas Fish Keep?
I don't think I have.
I don't think so.
Really bad.
He's in the Houston area, but he builds tanks.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
He builds tanks.
I
He
feel like
builds
I have seen his name. I feel like I have.
Gabe
Yeah.
Anderson.
Okay.
Yeah, he does some real good work. I'm hoping to get some stuff from him here soon. Love that. I love that page. Texas Fish Keepers
Man.
on
Huge shout
Facebook.
out to Texas.
I know. Thank you, Devontae. You know,
Devontae Berry. Devontae
Man.
Berry.
thank you.
Texas
Man.
Fish
He's
Keepers.
been helping us a lot too, so we owe it to him too.
Such like
Pretty
business
cool,
things, man.
He's a very nice man. Very, very, very nice.
Pretty cool, dude. It just surprised me how young, what he was doing, and how young he was. The thing that just got me, because I would see his picture, you know, who is this guy? You know, and he's commenting everywhere. You know, this youngster, you know, leaning sideways, you know, with his wife beat on. Who is this guy? You know.
What do you do?
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it surprised me. I mean, and you know, people get uncomfortable, but it is what it is. Me being black in the hobby, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of us with fish tanks, but black people don't seem to do a lot of the extending out and the relationship making aspect of it. So for me to see him, and then he's so young, you know, and so I shouted out, you know, hey man, what's up?
Yeah.
You know, what is it that you do here? You know, because I see you and all the people that know you, you know, and these people who own the fish store. Yeah, the fish store that I go to quite often, and they have memes where, you know, y'all are going back and forth. You must be somebody, you know what I'm saying?
And he's everywhere. Everyone knows like your name and your page and everything. It's like,
Yeah, I only hope people would know us as well as they knew him one day.
Aquatics, what's happening, bro? But hey, keep doing what you're doing, and you can get there. You can keep. I mean, it was a trip. When I had a chance to talk to him, you know, we got deep, you know, family, you know, the whole nine, you know, and I mean, all I can say is, you know, shout out, salute to him for being able to get to where he is in this. You know, it was just off the hook to him. I'm 49 years old, been keeping fish for 30 years, and I was like, there's no way I even imagined. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then he does it while working, which impresses me.
Full time, right?
It's true, man. Like, it really is true.
I'm gonna tell you, that guy right there. Check him out. Check him out. He might get you in trouble, but check him out though. Don't tell nobody you know him, but check him out. Funk, what's happening, man? What's happening? Thank you though for coming in though, bro. But
it's seeing how like we've grown. We started selling plant trimmings, and then now we have like a full line of everything. I think.
Well, you know what? Thank you for doing that, because y'all didn't tell how you started, like from where you started.
That's true. I guess we did miss that portion on the intro, huh?
Hey, we're at 59 minutes. So what a better way, you know what I'm saying, for us to go out is for us to go all the way back to the front.
Don't need to do you.
Go for it.
All right. So we started by creating a little baby pool in our backyard that we would put our trimmings in, and they were growing so beautifully out there. So we would decide to sell them, and we're like, okay, maybe we can, you know, go a little further with this. And so we started breeding bristlenose, and we would sell our bristlenose fry. And we don't do this really for the money. We do it for fun. It keeps us busy. It keeps us from being, you know, depressed and having the same, just going to work or school every day and coming home. It breaks up the cycle. But I mean, it's just crazy that we started from a little plant tank outside to all of a sudden having 40 tanks in our barn, you know, and wanting to go even bigger and create a store. It's been fun, and I want to keep growing, you know, see how big we can get.
And we still do kind of like, we started with plants, so we still do plants. Like I think we have like 2 125s right now, and they're just our plant tanks for plants, and it's kind of like something that we've aside from like Plecos, we have a lot of like different kind of plants too. Like we're still learning on that, but it's still a big focus with us, I think.
And the plants are so popular, and I'm pretty sure, again, it's cyclical, talking about coming back around. But I mean, right now, it seems like it's at its highest point of popularity, the aquascaping and the plant takes. I don't think I've ever seen it being as popular as it is right now.
Right. Oh, casual aquatics. In our personal collection, my biggest is my 90. I was supposed to have a 210, but it fell through, so here's my 90. In the fish room, it's a double 125. And then I don't really have a lot of monster fish. My biggest fish is my severum. I don't know if you can see him very well. This guy, but yeah, that's about it. We're actually our community / nano fish keepers mostly. So this is the biggest thing I've ever had. It's my first cichlid, honestly, other than a ram.
So how would you judge the ease of keeping rams? Did you breed rams?
I tried. So I would get them breeding, and then my male would die. So they're real finicky. They're not too bad if you leave them alone, but I would constantly rescape my tank, and every time I would do that, one would get stressed and die. So rams are easy if you have a nice, beautiful planted tank and you leave them be. But if you're planning on messing with your tank a lot, I don't recommend rams.
They stress out real quick.
They really do.
It's from perfectly okay. It's really stressed out, and then you're lucky if they make it through the night, kind of thing.
Every time we get rams in, we always quarantine our fish, but the rams always egg out. They always egg out. So it's they don't handle the moves very well. They get stressed really easy. But once we take care of the ick and they're in their tank, they're pretty good. They're not too hard.
Yeah, I had to ask because I'm hearing
6 foot.
Yeah, they're 6 foot 125.
I'll see them. You see people with them. Like the black rams, and then they talking about the gold rams and the temperature, and and I'm like, man, my LFS up the street here, they actually have them. So I go through it. I'm looking at them. But it's kind of like a big box store-ish, LFS. But I've never pulled the trigger on them because of what I hear, And coming from there, I can honestly say I've been in this area. I moved this area. We're going on 3 years or so here. When I first started going to this particular store, I mean, there would be ick, like across the whole top, and I'm coming. I'm like, hey guys, come here. Let me look. What is this? What's going on? Why in the world is there nobody here that cares? I want to think that maybe I had something to do with. I mean, they're doing pretty good now. I mean, I would be begging and pleading, for real. This store is 2 blocks away from me. I keep fish. I make videos about fish. I know people. You can't be doing this, And they actually do pretty good now. And I've noticed a revolving wheel of people who would be assigned to that area. They try this one, then they try this one, they try this one. There's a couple of people there now that's doing a pretty bang up job on it. And going back to you talking about the the Petco workers that don't really know, it's so frustrating when, again, I said I'm not the fish guy. As far as that's being humble to an extent. I have to know something. I've been doing it for a while. I could talk you into a tank, through a tank, and have you be successful. I can do that. But you go in the store and you're looking, and they come up forcing information on you.
Right.
It's like, man, just let me look at these fish. If I come to you and ask you something,
right?
Go for it.
I completely get that.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a veteran, right? And they're like, "Well, what size tank do you have?" You're like, please, I can do this. I know what I'm doing.
So, are you planning to, like the little betters in the cups, don't even talk to me about these. If I say I want them, just sell them to me for that. I mean, really, don't try to educate me on no better. So this one lady, she said, "Oh, these are blah blah blah." I'm just looking at her. So then I went to asking, okay, so is this a crown tail female or she's I really don't. I'm like, okay, so why are you walking up to me,
right,
trying to tell me anything? Just sell me the fish. Let me take them off your hands. Look at this little fella right here.
Let me help this fish.
Yeah, just floating in this water over here, and you go try to drill me. So, are you going to put? You have it in a cup.
I think like.
Are you not arguing with management? You work here.
Right, too.
But you asking me what I'm gonna do with it? I'm gonna take him to the creek and release him. Well, no, I'm not gonna do that. But
it has to be a common pleco for you to do that.
Yeah, right. Nobody never know the difference. Never know the difference. That's crazy, man.
We got some betas in, and we got cups. They sent us some cups with the betas. We're like, the hell are these? And we just kind of like threw them off to the side.
It was like they forced us to buy the cups. They just slapped it onto our bill. We're like, I didn't use these ever.
Or like sort of, they all go in communities. Like we put our betas with like community fish and everything. They do fine. It's like you're not gonna put a beta in a cup, and we're not gonna show our customers that it's okay to put a beta in a cup. Like,
right.
Skipper, what's going on? And I mean, okay, you walking around in this store every day. Even if they thought, well, I mean, they're coming in these cups. I mean, okay, so wouldn't it make sense to tell you if you have this much water, you probably need to change it every day?
Every couple of hours.
I mean, but it's like, it's obvious that water, you didn't change that yesterday. He's sitting in the same place. He's alive, but he's sitting in the same place that he was. What is it at the bottom down here that you're not even going to vacuum the rest of that food out? I mean, what is really going on here,
Yeah.
Right.
I don't understand it.
It takes a little effort to just throw a few in the molly and tanks and stuff like that. Stuff that just are peaceful, show them that, what they can live in, or just give them better setups where the water gets changed. I've seen them now with the newer LFSs. They have these really cool beta racks where the water constantly drips in them and changes out. They're pretty neat.
We actually have a Petco where they do the better and in an individual community tank. Like, just take them out of the cups and they just put them in. There's one in there, like in every tank, there's like a better in it, So I'm like, yeah, we could do that one, but they're killing me with these cups over here, man.
Right.
It's so little effort to just acclimate them to a tank and then
and I'm actually, it's just me, but I'm thinking the cups were just for shipping. I'm willing to think that the people that send them don't plan on them staying in the cup. Probably never did, but they're like, oh my God, I hear that they live in these small little puddles and that I can do this. I'm like, that's not even those vases with the bamboo, sitting on top of it, that you use. Look at this cup, man. God.
I like to argue on Facebook about they live in puddles. So I send like a picture like this is the puddle they live in. And it's like this massive like pond thing. Like
it might be shallow, but it goes quite a while. Yeah.
Like, this is a natural beta habitat. This is their puddle.
Yeah. Look, it's 5 inches deep. But it takes up a football field. I mean,
Right.
Full of plants,
Exactly.
Hey, Funk, man, look. You better save that fish, man. Oh man, we didn't hit the hour mark. This was a very, very, very good time.
I had fun.
Appreciate you having us.
Yes, man. Hey, and I was telling y'all, I said, hey, this is what it was gonna be. That's what the warm up is for. Get the juices flowing. We got fish people in here, and they just like to hear fish stuff. You're gonna have your questions. People, they joke, and hey, it's all family. It's all family, and now they know about you. Now they know about you, and they can seek you out, and they can hope you stay in Texas and don't leave.
Anyone's welcome to message us and just ask us basic general fish care questions. Even if you don't buy anything from us, we'll be willing to answer it. Don't be afraid to message out to us. We can send you our list too. You guys are welcome to ask for it, and we'll order something off of there for you if we don't have it in.
And you can find them on Facebook. And no, you don't have to join a group to find them, so don't be afraid.
It's true.
Because I had a guy ask me.
We have a website, but it might be down for a little bit because we're actually making a merger from Wix to Spotify. You got me thinking Spotify. He said Spotify the other day. Now it's in my head. Shopify. So don't rely on the website for a little bit, but you guys can message us on Facebook.
Most definitely. I had a guy ask me one time about, man, I mean, I don't really do the groups on Facebook. I'm like, no, you don't have to go. You don't have to go to a group. Don't worry about a group, man. Just put it in search, and and they come up. Yeah. Even though Texas Fish Keepers on Facebook is still a very good group. I can't speak to no other group. I know for a fact that Texas Fish Keepers is a very good group.
It is.
Oh, for sure, definitely.
But I want to thank y'all for coming in and sitting in and chilling with me. Thank y'all for hitting me up in the chat. I see this Saturday. See y'all, this Saturday is relatively new. So people are just not really getting to where they expecting it and they're looking for it. And thank y'all for coming, and making us feel that we're wanted by actually showing up in the chat. Thank y'all very much. I love y'all, and you're not by yourself. Don't never ever feel like you're lonely. There's somebody somewhere that's watching you, that's concerned about you, that actually loves you. If you have anything, any issues or problems going on in life, tell somebody. Don't be afraid. You actually know who you can confide in. You do know. It's the enemy that keeps us alone and keeps us by ourselves because they hope that we run into mental breakdown and then wither away until we're nothing. No, don't let them win. There's somebody who you can reach out to. And I am one of those people. I always have my email right there, thebigtankhank@gmail.com. Y'all can hit me up at any time. We're out. Y'all be good. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.
Thank you.